And we're live.
Hey guys, welcome back to YouTube. Trekyards, because I think we fixed it. YouTube tends to update things without telling us. Anyway, guys, we are back, and we're going to be talking about Picard coming out tomorrow. We're going to do some theories and speculations and things. Yeah.
Although, as I expressed, Stuart, slight drop in the ball here by CBS this time, because they're releasing at 3 a.m. in some parts of the USA, which is well behind your 9 p.m. release of yours, Stuart.
Yes.
And then next day for the UK and Europe. And so it feels like CBS have forgotten that the world is connected by internet, and therefore Americans have it basically a full day ahead of everyone else, which, while itself is not a problem, audiences are going to start sharing because, that said, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, people weren't spoiling things for a couple of days, and Game of Thrones, so maybe people cannot do it. But Trek fans in Trek forums might just say, look, here's a picture of, Data playing Dr. Sung. That's not a spoiler, right? So you're like, fuck off. So I'm expecting just to avoid the internet tomorrow, except Messenger, and then go back on Friday morning after download the episode and have a look. Yeah. So yeah, gonna be a thing. Good luck, Stuart, for you, because you've got to deal with a whole day.
Well, it is what it is. I'll survive, I'm sure.
I've got my last day of prep. I've got to finish the wall. I've got part of your thumbnail stuff done. I've actually got the full. Now, you guys can't see this, but on my OBS scenes, I've got the new ST Picard LCARS scene fully set up. Nice. Like LCAR, everything's ready. I just need to swap it, and you'll see it on Friday. So brand new LCARS raring to go. Tease.
Everybody's still getting an error.
Oh, god damn it.
That's not good. I thought I lost you there for a second. The screen. The Skype window went blue.
Well, we still love you guys.
We do.
And you love us. And as I said, as I expressed to you a minute ago, it's like how many lives we do a week, there's no problem. So we can't really complain at one. I mean, if this is a problem on Friday, that'll be a bit more screwy. But yeah.
Well, just so you know, the first one we did that was 15 minutes long says monetization limited, not suitable for most audiences.
Right. Good. Not good. What? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Request review. I mean, I'm requesting a review. Yeah, we're both requesting a review. Okay. Strange. But yeah, we are live. Very strange.
Online problems.
But yeah, so Dahj, I think, like I was saying before, the fact that we see so many different out of context pieces is intriguing, and part of this video is to actually have probably me a bit more than you, Stuart, but to call out things that I'm throwing out in the air that some will hit, and so the fact that she's getting cozy with this Romulan, the fact that she's clearly in some kind of not prison, either tells me that she's a clone or a grown-up entity, and therefore she's been in a secluded spot on the Borg ship or on the Romulan planet, kept her own little bubble of society whereby the Romulans, all she knows are Romulans, and maybe she, got with the Romulan guy and she's in love with him or whatever, and then she has to escape, whatever, and we'll see it. I'm sure we'll see her meet Picard at the start, having lost her memory. We'll see these as flashbacks. I'm sure they'll do the out of context time way about it, but there'll probably some reveal that she's got bad things. I mean, she's the destroyer. But she's definitely got a direct, active connection with the Romulans, more so than you'd think. And it's weird that she's this burning. I even forgot about this burning shot, even though she's in a fight. She's in a fight scene on this roof, and yet she's now burning with acid.
Well, it almost looks like a vampire scene, like the sunlight.
Yeah. Yeah. But we know Picard's on this roof. We know she's being attacked by Romulan agents. What? So there's definitely more here. Maybe it's to show her regeneration skills. I know people saying she's a Borg queen, Picard daughter. I think that's ridiculous. I see why with the Borg connection, but the queen is such a non-entity when you break down what and who.
Yeah.
I can see her being a Picard daughter clone, DNA from Picard, but by the same tact, Picard isn't that important in the tech side of Borgy stuff. Lots of ex-drones. But she's probably a clone. She's definitely either bred or cloned or, carefully constructed. I mean, her age is such that she was born around the same time as the incidents that changed everything. So it makes sense she'd be an experiment or some sort of thing, a thing person. And then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about... Like, I don't want a clone thing. I don't want another clone of Picard or anything stupid like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of theories floating around about her, about, somebody used Picard's DNA, and with the Romulans experimenting on Borg, they created like a Borg Queen Picard hybrid for some reason, because Picard's important.
But that's such a fan film non-idea. I mean...
It is.
It's not a good thing to revolve a story around, especially if you include the whole, I mean, do you think that the data android creature things are directly linked to the Borg, or is that just very much a side story that happens to coexist?
I think it'd be a side story. That's the reason Picard left Starfleet, and then that was years ago, obviously, before this starts. And then the Dahj thing happens. It might tie in eventually at the end, but I think it's going to seem very unrelated at first. But that's interesting. Just one second.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think we're going to get... Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job in showing us things, but not really any big plot things, and they're definitely lying to us with how the trailers are constructed. Like I say, when you start breaking down who is what where, it really changes the paradigm quite drastically. I mean, maybe Dahj is an android. Maybe that's a better way around it, because that would link more directly. Especially if you're talking about how the law thing was making android Borg people. What if Dahj is actually an android, taken by blah blah and updated blah blah blah?
It falls back to the lore thing with Descent. Maybe she's part Borg, part android. A new evolution.
Well, yeah, you'd say born with Borg tech inside the Borg cube, but an evolution of one thing. Because I mean, I'm really hoping. I know that Patrick Stewart said part of his tradition for being in the show is not to wear the uniform. Although you would think that'd be such a core fundamental is to wear a uniform at some point. I'm really hoping that we see flashbacks of him in uniform in the incident, wearing his new uniform. Like seeing those moments play out live action is very important to me personally. And I'm wondering, is because whatever made him leave Starfleet. What if there's a scene in the past where we see, he's being, as an admiral, he's taken to this place and he's presented with basically lore data, new tech, and he's like, what? You used the broken elements of B4 to create a new android? Yes, we did. That's not okay. That's not life. That's, saying you already did this in Measure of a Man, and he leaves, and they say we want a new synthetic army, a new, what we don't need. We don't need spacesuits if we can just have androids on every ship like Lance Hendrick and Aliens. And he's like, yeah, but you're creating life to just service us, which is, so that could be why he leaves. And so you can imagine a flashback where he's going back, and that'd be a good way of having Brent back as like, a B4 sort of turned on, but actually then out of the shadows comes this other version of him who's not Brent, it's another actor. And it's like, look, we made a new one, and he's like, what? No, data's unique. You can't do that.
We got a super chat from Jarzia.
A super chat from Jarzia?
I wish. No, PayPal, sorry. I still maintain Dahj is an android or some kind of and sought Picard's help because of Measure of a Man. She's going to be fighting for the rights of other synths who are being enslaved. Starfleet or part of it will be in bed with Romulans on this. That's my theory for the past few months, and I'm sticking to it till proven otherwise.
Yeah. And
Ian Smith.
Katie Carr says Dahj should be half Borg, but there is no half Borg. Borg is, you've been assimilated. There's nanoprobes, and you're corrupted with tech. Borg isn't a race so much as like a thing that has happened to you. You can be a human, then a Borg. There isn't a half Borg. Seven is a human with Borg components. She's not half Borg. She's a human with Borg components. So if she's half Borg, she's just human with Borg components in her body that's not visible. Like, Borg is not a thing; it's a construct.
And Eugene sent us a PayPal as well, $30.99 US. So thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Eugene here. I expect it to be a lot like Discovery second season with troubles from revolving door of showrunners. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a bit of time to I mean, they've definitely done reshoots and flesh things out. But now they've not got Michael Chabon leaving, then you've got to ask, if the storyline for season 1 isn't enjoyed, are they going to tweak it for season 2 and then it even feels less? You know, because Picard's got like 5 seasons worth of plot, but they hope for 3 seasons. Yeah. Like, that's a distinct story they're hoping to tell. You know.
Yeah. Ian Smith also sent us PayPal of $10.
Thank you.
Hello, Captain and Commander. Sorry Super Chat isn't working. Hopefully it'll be fixed soon. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not optimistic and 10 being fully optimistic, how optimistic are you that this will be a good pilot episode? I'm about 5 right now myself. I just want to enjoy this more than Discovery. I want a better story that actually fits in with stories and ideas of past Trek. Also praying for visual canon to be better, but not holding out much hope. Your overall thoughts. Thanks for all you do. Love the channel.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Ian Smith. So
we love you too.
Ian. As far as ranking this one, I'm hoping for an 8 out of 10 at least. I don't know.
It could go. It could go the. Okay, this is actually a great parallel. Look at the new 3 Star Wars films, right? You got Force Awakens, safe. Everything is safe. Nothing, retread, safe, whatever.
Yeah.
Second one, undo everything, destroy everything, set a new path, burn the old path, disrespect fans, but try something different. Third one, we're going to do it for the fans. We want to make them happy and buy tickets and celebrate the legacy and respect canon and do cool things. And, 3 very distinct, versions. So this could either be very faithful to canon and clever and smart and going forward as if it was sort of like a Voyager season 9, like moving forward, or it could be burn the past. We're gonna by telling a new version of the story, we're gonna like I said, if they said in one of the lines Picard raped someone on an alien planet, it's like that will forever hurt the Picard character. If Seven says she choked Chakotay in the bedroom because she likes it, it's like, oh, that hurts the character. You know what I mean? You can do things that actively hurt the character for every time from now on. Or they can do something that really is like fan clever and like, wow, this links to the Borg. Wow, this links to Measure Man. Wow, this links to Doctor. Wow, it's got Janeway. Wow, it's got, all these really clever things where they just said, how do we incorporate the universe? But kind of the middle option is where they just say, I mean, it's a Trek show in the sense Patrick Stewart's in it, but he's also a different Picard. Because the fact is, if he's playing a different iteration of the character, then you're almost not being driven by the character or more just the actor. And if the Borg aren't the Borg anymore, they're more X-drones with a new personality. And if the Romulans have a totally different personality set, then really they're almost buying a new TV show that is Trek in name and uses some iconography. But if every character is in a different place completely, Riker, there's sort of Riker, cooking, but if he's not the commander, if he's nothing like he was, then he's just an actor playing a face. Is it then even Star Trek in the sense?
Well, I have a feeling they're going to treat the characters well, as far as because I get the feeling that the reason Riker's not a captain right now is because of Picard leaving Starfleet. That Riker also agreed with him and they left at the same time, kind of thing. So I think they'll treat the characters right. I hope they maintain the characters. It's the writing I'm concerned about. But even that, I have a lot of faith that they've done well at least. So yeah, I have a feeling that they'll treat the characters well. I'm hoping.
But the problem with me for that is that just by having, if you say Riker's retired that young, that's disrespectful to me, to the character. You know, he should be on the Titan. He should be. You should have this epic shot where you warp in. There's the Titan, and you know.
But if he doesn't agree with what Starfleet's doing, which is why Picard left, then he would, of course, leave with Picard.
I know, but it's like this great. It's like Luke. Let's just put him on an island. He doesn't do anything, and he's ran away. It's like, really, Riker's. We saw all of Riker's best bits, and they just retired for the next 30 years. Like, I understand his moral thing there, but it's like, and that's the end of our character. He just lives on a house for 10 years, 30 years, 40. Okay, well, that's shit, you know. Whereas I'm hoping that Riker is taking a temporary like off. He's an admiral, but he's taking time to spend time with his family, like a 2-year. What's the thing where you take time off?
Hiatus?
Well, no, it's like a special thing that monks can take. It's like a
sabbatical.
Sabbatical, yeah. He's taking like a 5-year sabbatical to grow up with his daughter. Or family's the main thing. He's still an admiral. He's still got the full rank, and that's why hopefully in the Vineyard he'll be in full uniform. I need that. You know, we just happen to see him on holiday. You know what I mean? He's not old. Again, I keep saying, these people are middle-aged in the Trek universe. Yes, Patrick might be 80, but in the character years, he's middle-aged. If not Bashir, if Dr. Bones McCoy could be active in even as a ceremonial admiral at 130, then you can still be a functional admiral at 100. So why are you retiring 40 years early? I mean, you're not done exploring it. You know, the legacy of the universe is so much bigger than just I'll stop. And I hate that, just because the actors are old. Respect the canon.
Nate Kornoff says at Trekyards, I was lucky enough to get a ticket to the premiere in Hollywood, where we got to see the first 3 episodes linked together. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
And all I say to that is that ups my expectations, which is a bad thing, because then I expect good things. But also, we know people personally that came out of Discovery LA premiere saying episode 1 was amazing. And we know the first episode is absolute atrocious. It's the worst one. Episode 1 and 2 are the worst Discovery episodes, pretty much. So, you know, and the vibe of going in there is different. Come on, you're lucky. I mean, great for you. Seriously, well done. Amazing. But you got specially selected to get to premiere. The actors were there. The vibe is everyone's in costume. You go, woo! It's on! Of course you're going to enjoy it more. Whereas if you just looked at it in your room alone in the dark, just looking at it as purely abstract television, it might not hold up in the same way. It's like you can enjoy a film more in the cinema than at your house because the vibe is there. You know, like when I watched Avengers, the first one, the puny god line with Hulk and Loki burst out laughing in the cinema. I would never have got that at home. So that line will always stick out to me as being one of the best lines of the film because the vibe I had in that moment was so incredible first time. You know, so no, 9 is great. But also you might not care about canon. You might have thought Discovery is great. You might not care about writing. I mean, those people are so varied that any one person giving it a review, because they also say there was an interesting article or a little article where they said that what's the guy that ran TNG? The like lead guy.
Sorry, you cut out there. You said what's the guy?
What's the guy that basically ran TNG? The lead guy that kind of kept it going after Gene passed. Zimmerman or no?
No.
Yeah, the main guy. And then do all the other shows too.
Rick Berman.
Rick Berman, yeah. Apparently there was an article saying someone saw his face at the premiere walking out of the premiere and he was really looking sad, like someone had killed his favorite pet. So if you base that on, you know, the guy that helped create TNG and all the other shows, if he went out of the premiere looking really unhappy, I mean, that's another sign of, well, you know. So it's hard to, you know, so that's why the best thing for this is low expectations, is it will be okay. Thank you, Rick Berman. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all subjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you like things, so...
Well, because we like stuff with spaceships more and tech more. We like the sci-fi ones. Other people like Inner Light as the best thing ever, and we're like, yeah, it's good. You know, But it was I like Prometheus more a lot of the time, and that's a lot less a good episode. But boy, it has a lot of cool stuff in it. So it's you can like different things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say, because I mean, I know Picard has like Romulan house servants, slaves.
Well, the sense there I get is there's like I'm sure he like owns more land for the vineyard, like around it, or like he said, no, Admiral, I'm volunteering 10 acres of my land, or land near me, they can settle or whatever, and so this Romulan colony is near his house or his vineyard. And also they owe him because he presumably helped in the evacuation a lot. So they owe him, and he obviously killed Shinzon. So they owe him. But it's kind of weird to have a Romulan alcove on Earth. It's quite a weird concept, really. But refugees and less villainous. It certainly demystifies them a little bit if they're just like they're in France, the Romulan district of France. It's like what? New Romulus in France. Hopefully, though, I know you've called him Legolas since day one, but hopefully he's a good character because he seems so one-dimensional right now. He's just a weird art design guy with a sword, and it's like, okay, what? It's like, where could they possibly do that character,
The one thing that they certainly are doing right, and maybe it'll be explained in there, is that there's smooth-headed and regular head,
yes.
Well, TNG four-headed Romulans. Hopefully that's explained. If it doesn't have to be explained by any means, but at least they're doing that right. Mm-hmm. And we have heard that should Worf appear on the show, he will look like he did in TNG. So,
and I like how Kurtzman, the subtext was, well, of course he will. And I'm like, yeah. So why did he fuck up the other ones? But obviously that wasn't his choice. That was Fuller's choice. They couldn't backpedal that much, could they?
Yeah. No.
But yeah, have Smoothhead and Ridgehead. I mean, we saw Ridgehead. I mean, I pointed them out in the first trailer. The prison guards, they had ridges. I mean, they're great, perfect. Do both. I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, like we said before, you're welcome to have Smoothhead Klingons. Like, have the plethora. And we gave you a fully in-canon universe way of having Discovery Klingons be completely acceptable. As long as Season 2 had other versions of Klingons. You didn't really. So, whatever.
Yeah. Jarzius gives us another $5 PayPal, so thank you.
Kind.
Realistically, even discounting Rascals and Transporter reverse aging, nobody should really get old in the Federation. They literally have a fountain of youth planet. Picard could have gone to Baku for a few years, being retired and all, and come back being 30 years old. Of course, then Patrick couldn't play him, but in universe, anybody could undo decades of aging with just a few years there. Does it stick, though? Does it hold? I don't know. Because weren't Geordi's eyes regenerating? Is that why he was able to get the implants?
That's what I assumed. Or at least better implants, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. 287 people watching. Click like. You can't super chat, but please do PayPal. Trekyards@hotmail.com. We rely on the income from these streams. We can't rely on income from this stream, so it'll be quite a short one today, but we're enjoying the conversation and it's still a good video I have out there. But PayPal, we've already had 40, that's brilliant, so feel free to PayPal. And did you notice, Stuart, then I've tried to stop watching teasers, but I had to find a teaser for the thumbnail. But in this ish bit, Picard, remember he gets the TNG combat, he clicks it to his jacket. There's a separate scene where he clicks it onto an actual uniform.
Oh, really?
But it's cut together with one of these scenes where he's in his jacket. And it looked like a TNG uniform, but I couldn't. I watched it like as a series of other things. So they're trying to cleverly cut some different things. Because like I said, while you were off, they've definitely edited the trailers to lie. And I said that to you the first time when I dissected it. I was like, if you change the order of the events, it's like, oh wow, they're really being clever.
They always do that with trailers, though.
Because I mean, the fact is, I don't want to know things. And that's why it's kind of fun to do these sorts of analysis, because we don't know anything, and therefore everything's possible. And if I walk away from Friday being like, oh, I guessed that, then I just feel good for guessing it, but I've guessed tens of thousands of things, It's like this shot of the Borg prisoners. Well, why have they got pads? Why are they multiple colours? They're obviously not prisoners, are they? So but it looks like a prison camp. That's how they filmed it. They're obviously like subjects or a colony or voluntarily there. I mean,
well, I assume a lot of those are doctors or scientists that are working on the Borg, because we see Borg on tables being worked on, operated on.
But that could be a flashback or a side sect. I mean, it's a big Borg cube. That's the clever thing.
True.
You know, that's the clever thing about this. So the well-edited trailers. I give them all the credit in the world for that.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that everyone always forgets in this one is that in this sequence, Romulan drone people, I shouldn't use drone, Romulan attack troopers actually attacking Picard at his house. And there are several shots where he's shooting a gun, which is a Romulan gun. So why do Romulan troopers come attack his house?
Well, to get Dahj, supposedly.
Yeah.
We do see her walk up to the house. So. Yep.
But also they attack on a rooftop. That's two very distinct places that aren't the same place.
And Joshua Clark gives us a PayPal of 376.
Thank you.
I'm cautiously optimistic about this new show, but I am so fearful that there's going to chock full of woke gobbledygook. You know. Yeah.
I mean,
I get so sick of that get woke, go broke bullshit, but whatever.
I mean, it's certainly true to some extent, but at the end of the day, just tell a good story.
Yeah.
You know, there are always good messages and stories. Just tell a good story first. Don't base it around the other stuff first. Yeah.
And Jeff Jacobs, $5. 100 likes, again at 150. Make Jeff pay.
290 people watching.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. I suppose you could super chat.
We should probably leave part 1 of this video up, at least because of that other theory I read.
Okay, we'll just
wanted me to read that. So
we'll just take out part 2. Yeah. Also, another small thing is that Patrick did say that one thing he thought was better about this show than any of the other shows was that the entire ship was built, exterior and interior. Because this is a small ship, so this is the upstairs of the ship. And there's a downstairs and the quarters, and they might have, maybe it like lands at one point, but it's a really small. It's a very crappy looking small ship. They kind of went Firefly-esque in terms of build it all, but I kind of get the sense we almost won't spend much time on this ship because it's such a poor art design. Like, I don't want to spend much time here. Do you?
Not really, unless there's more to see. But yeah, it doesn't look like it. I mean, the front part of this area is essentially the bridge by the looks of the trailers anyway.
Yep. And the back's the transporter.
We haven't seen a shot of the front yet, but...
Oh my god, is it going to have a window, do you think?
Probably.
Yeah, it's going to have a window. You can justify it more here, but hey, at least this Romulan bird of prey hasn't got windows for bridge.
That's a good point.
They should know better.
Point.
And there's so much weird hue in this trailer because, and again, we parceled out things based on our time at Vegas that he filmed Patrick really early, so he's in the first 3, as is 7 of 9. But he worked first before 7 of 9, whose first episode 2, which means he has to be in episode 1. And most of the scenes were with, or at least early scenes were with Picard in a room. So that implies that maybe they find Hugh, or he comes to them. Maybe he's the whistleblower. Maybe the renegade Borg are like, this has gone too far. So he comes to the Federation, and he says, "I'll only speak to Picard." And they actually, because what if they call Picard? He doesn't go to them first. What if he goes to them first, and then after he sees them, he goes back to isolation, and then Dahj appears, and it's like 2 things in one go. But here we see him running out of a Borg cube with Dahj. That's clearly not episode 1, is it? I doubt they got to a Borg ship in episode 1. But do they get to the cube and escape? I mean, are they upping the threat level that 1 Borg cube is now worth a threat? I mean, if they've had 10 years to upgrade a Borg cube with bigger and better weapons, could you make 1 Borg cube even stronger? I mean, theoretically, the scimitar is powerful not because it can fire while cloaked, but also because it can fire 35 guns at any given moment. Most ships can't do that. So imagine a Borg cube with every other meter is a torpedo launcher. How many torpedo launchers does it have? 650. Right.
On this side.
On the, yeah. 650. For how many sides? One side. Oh. So times it by 6, sir. Yeah, I got that, Ensign. Thanks. Shit. Because that would be, you know.
And then it does like Death Blossom from
Yes!
Last Starfighter. Firing torpedoes everywhere. Yeah. That worked great.
That would be brilliant.
I somehow doubt that'll happen.
I somehow agree too. And I really hope 7 of 9 is in it quite a lot. I mean, all the legacy characters, they are going to want to make the new characters better than the legacy characters, because the fact is, any of these new people are going to charge 1/5 of 7 or 1/10 of Patrick. So, and they can't make their new franchise based on the old franchise characters. Like, they could if they were smart, but they want the new crew to be the best thing ever, as some people would say. But the fact is, 4 years of build-up, 7 is a better character in every way, use her appropriately, you know. But it seems they're unafraid to bring back other people if it serves a story, because as I posted before, it was public knowledge, yay, that Whoopi was publicly asked to be in Picard Season 2, and it's quite adorable, and she's like, yes, of course I will. 1,000 times yes, Patrick.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Guy in it. I assumed she would be in this at some point, but so that's great to hear.
Well, they didn't even address anything what happened. I mean, she did die, then undid die, and then we get nothing else. Oh, I guess she's at the wedding, I suppose. But she plays no real part there. She's just there as a cameo. But that'd be fun to have. You know,
it raises the question: would she even be on the Enterprise E? Because it doesn't have 10 forward. It's not a luxury cruiser. So why do they need a bartender? Would she be on the Enterprise E? I don't think so.
It's like, what you're going to retcon? She was fighting Borg in Insurrection. So what? She was given a phaser rifle. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a flashback? Suddenly you have like Michael Dorn in full makeup with a phaser rifle in a corridor, and there's Whoopi in a big purple outfit with a bigger rifle. Like, I brought my own, Worf. Okay, do it.
Tech, yeah.
That's worth it. Do it. Or she just does this, ha, and they explode. Ha, Borg. Ha, Borg. You know, she claws them and they die. But Whoopi's interesting because she's obviously got the Elorian nurse, and since it's so underdeveloped, you could do anything with it. And she's also got the direct Borg connection, even though, as we really learned through rewatching it, she knows nothing about Borg, pretty much.
Steakophobic Z says that, yikes, that's terribly premature to renew. Is Season 2 actually filming already? It's not filming yet, but they have announced Season 2 is a thing, so...
But obviously, caveat, they announced Star Trek 4 was in production when Discovery Season 2 was coming on.
Yes, yeah.
And then it was not, because... So it's in production in the sense they want to make it, but it's not greenlit, it's not got money. Well, I think it might be greenlit, but I mean, you can ungreenlit. I mean, if it bombs, it's like, you know, they uncommissioned a ton of Star Wars movies because Solo and Last Jedi bombed. It's like they were greenlit. There was one that was actually, like the Boba Fett movie, had a costume designer. They were building sets and it was cancelled. It's like, oh.
Well, some people say we wouldn't have got The Mandalorian if it wasn't for the failure of Solo.
Yeah. So. Sure. Absolutely. No, yeah. And we would not have got Picard without the failure of Discovery. If they hadn't have learned those lessons, we would have much more shit in this one. You know, because Season 2 was a marked improvement in many ways, and so they know, you know, they're starting fresh. They don't have to use Discovery Klingons here because they just don't need to. You know, they don't need to reinvent the Romulans. They can do it properly and get kudos. You know. Yeah,
and Azuzus. My concern is they have 2 Star Trek shows, Discovery and Picard. Yeah, but the problem, there's no real concern there. Discovery is all done in Canada, in Toronto, and Picard is all in California. They're essentially two different. They're isolated from each other, hopefully. I know Kurtzman's involved with both, but
he's also involved in 3 other ones. I mean, he's just a supervisor of things. I mean, it's so different that even, you know, John Eves didn't work on Discovery Season 2. He worked on Picard. Different art teams, different stylistic teams, so they are not the same people. You know. I assume it's the same VFX house, but I mean, I assume so, but we have no idea. Pick some under, I assume, but who knows?
Yeah, well, it's not like it's 1970 where you have to mail like film elements around the country. It's just it's instant. So
yeah, But no, I mean, yeah, I think it will be. I just hope they don't. I hate the word nostalgia because things stand on their own or not. You know, when I saw Wedge Antilles for 5 frames in Rise of Skywalker, it wasn't benefiting from my nostalgia. I was like, oh great, that character's in this battle. He's a good pilot. He can help them. Like, it was a part of the universe they were utilizing. It wasn't like, oh, it's Wedge. Oh, I like the movie more. You know what I mean?
A lot of times nostalgia just simply opens the door for people. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Open the door, you walk into the house and it's all cluttered and gross and dirty and you're like, no, I'm backing out. Whereas if it's a welcoming house with like a good, well-written script and nice, you know, people will stay. But nostalgia gets people through the door.
Yeah. Well,
but you got to hold them.
Well, that's the thing about using existing universes. It's not whereas the nostalgia is just the universe. Like in Mandalorian, that last episode, they get the turret, right? Is that nostalgia to bring the turret they would get in the time period they're in? Well, no, it's just they would get the turret. Oh my god, they had scout troopers with bikes, Stuart. Is that nostalgia? Well, no, they needed speeder bikes. So rather than inventing new ones, they just use the ones that exist in the time period. You know.
We got a bunch of PayPals, man.
Hey!
All right, so let's go in here. Joshua Clark, 367. Do you all think we will see Q? I want to see Q.
I hope not.
I hope we don't see Q. I mean, maybe at the end of the series as a good work, Jean-Luc, or something, but I don't know.
I can imagine that if they do the radical step of the season goes bad, like Infinity War, that maybe Jean-Luc might say at the end, Q, are you listening? I know you've always loved me. Can you help me? Like, I can imagine everything goes wrong, and because Q's, I'm sure, listening in the abstract sense of he's everywhere, and so he could call upon the ultimate being to help him at the last hour. That I can imagine be a thing, but that is almost nostalgia, like pulling out this forced thing. It's like, if Q's involved, there's no threat, because he can turn anything into anything. Q diminishes any storyline into just solved, you know?
Bidroli 12 says Q isn't supposed to age. How will we see Q? Q can appear any way he wants.
Exactly.
If Picard's older, he'll just make himself older. It's pretty simple.
I mean, Q did look different from... Yeah. Have you seen his last appearance in Voyager? He looks older because it's like 7, 9, 12 years later. But who cares? Like you say, I mean, Data can age. They explicitly tell us that. You know, you just don't want him to age, and he shouldn't look old. It's like Data can age, but like hair color is a choice. You know, he chose to go half grey and all good things, but he could choose to be black the entire time, hair colour. Facial hair's a choice, so he can have more wrinkles, but as long as his hair's black and thick as a wig or whatever, that unless he chooses not to, but those are lines I would have on that.
FS Subaru Solutions sent $5.
Thank you.
Here's to hoping Picard is a good show. Do you think we will get to see the Enterprise E, Defiant, Voyager, or Titan at all? And if so, will they look like they did in years past? Hashtag Picard like Spike. I'm hoping to see a Galaxy class, a Sovereign. As for getting into the whole preamble or all the ships of like the Defiant and the Intrepid and stuff, I doubt it. As the seasons continue, if this goes for like 4 seasons or something like that, maybe we'll see 1 or 2. But I'm not holding my breath. Put it that way. We've already seen a Galaxy. And
2 galaxies technically.
2 Oh yes, the hologram as well. Yeah,
which shows they're not afraid of including it. That's a symbol of they feel that they can, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about the ships. Unfortunately, that's the sticky point for me, because we know that there's Discovery shuttles, and that's just a real kink in the whole thing for me. Because if there's Discovery shuttles, there might be.
Well, as we are one day away, I still hope beyond hope that they just chose to not reveal the art designs until the show. They actively fucked themselves in the short term for benefit in the long term. And because bad press is still press. You know, we all complained they got views. So, you know. But knowing that, I mean, all they have to do is change it a bit and Eagle wants to make a new model. You know? If I was them, still kind of thinking like them, where I want to stand on my own, I would say to our modelers, right, You've got full orthos of Defiant, Voyager, Sovereign. Build them all, but let's make updated versions that we can then sell. So we'll include them. You know, they'll be our own things. We'll have them in the back pocket for season 2, season 3. We'll make them now. They'll be lower detail than modern, but that's fine. If you look at the Romulan ship, it's relatively low detail model, so they're not really pushing them. Like, they're not going like hyper mega real quality. They're actually kind of medium to low. It's kind of strange how low some of the ships, whatever, I don't know. Like Enterprise have better quality ships than Picard seems to have. But then they can say, Eaglemoss, here is 7, like they're still doing Discovery Season 1 ships, you know, because they just did so many. They've made millions from selling ships that no one gave a fuck about. You know, some of these ships had less than 5 seconds of screen time and 1/3 of the screen at most and was dark, but they made millions on each one, you know, in a sense. So I think it's very possible that if we see like a big epic fleet shot, we will see a Defiant, because it's not a difficult model, and a Sovereign. Definitely see a Sovereign at some point. I think that'll be a symbolic thing. Titan, I doubt it, but if they were clever, they would. But then again, they'd change it to make it update, and they could then, you know, design the aesthetic. I mean, you know, because, you know, John's working on it. So if they said to John, redesign all of these 6 ships with our modern aesthetic that we've already got approved, he goes and does it. It's not difficult. He hopefully respects it enough to make good versions, and they sell hundreds of thousands of models.
I would say in regards to Titan, keep an eye in Riker's cottage. Look for stuff like on a mantle or on a wall.
Or the Eaglemoss model, that might just be there.
Yeah, like keep an eye out for something like that. If you're going to see the Titan, it's going to be something like that. It's going to be very obscure, even as
like a painting.
Plaque. Yeah, or even just the dedication plaque of the Titan. You might see that. You might not see the ship, but you might see that.
Because I can imagine that, you know, how Picard had a painting of Enterprise D in his quarters that Rick painted.
Yeah.
I mean, there might literally just be a picture painting of Tobias's Titan on the wall, kind of homaging back to that. But I mean, they put the Enterprise F in the comic, the first licensed Picard material. Now, while they clearly don't give a shit about comics as much as they should do, you'd assume that was more carefully nannied than other content, right? So that they put that into closer to canon than possible. So Titan is more canon-y than the Vesta is, or not Vesta, the Odyssey is. You know, so again, there's clever and there's reject the past, kill if you have to. You know, is he Rian Johnson or is he J.J. Abrams? That's the key. You know.
Yeah.
But I again, easy thing. Wow, is that a Defiant in the background? Yes! Eaglemoss in 6 months' time. Buy it for $12.99. XL 2 months later, $25.99. And you're like, Jesus Christ, Eaglemoss, calm down. And we'll all buy it. Because what does the $23.99 Defiant look like? And Stuart, it's 35% different. But you know what? It's a refit. That's fine.
Yes.
Just don't want to see any Connies of any kind. Nothing resembling a Connie design. Because someone said, "Oh, we're going to see a Connie now," and it's like, no.
Why would you?
Yeah, that was what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Guys, we're not to be able to get super chats. I keep going back to the chat as if like.
I know, right?
It's weird. But guys, do PayPal if you want to support Trekyards@hotmail.com. Trekyards@hotmail.com. You know, if anyone wants to, you know, it was $20 more, then we can call it a success because we get less fee on those, so it's actually more worth getting super chats than non-super chats. Weirdly, PayPal's and super chats. Hopefully, be sorted by. Yeah.
Well, I've already emailed them with the issues, so. Did that while you were talking. But yeah. I don't know.
Any other pictures that are worth? Because I think this has been a good discussion just by itself, Stuart.
Well, the one thing that's interesting is the Romulan ship. Like, a lot of people have been saying time travel. God, I hope not. I mean, I love a good time travel story, especially in Trek. They're some of my favorite ones.
Well, and the preface being you like a good time travel story, not the you like a good time travel story. Sorry, just a little joke thrown there.
Exactly. So, and as we've kind of pointed out before, that's not really a TOS design. Although, if they are retconning everything to be Discovery era, it could definitely be. But it looks very similar, and to me, it seems more like the ones from Starfleet Command, the game, where it's kind of like the movie era upgrade of the ship. So, is that a holographic target ship that they're practicing against? Is it um, an old Romulan ship? Is it a new design? Like, I don't understand the context of that ship, so I'm really eager to find that out. I'm glad we saw the ship, though, because it's one of my favorite ships in Trek. But I don't think time travel is an aspect of the storyline, although it definitely could be. If they could weave a really interesting time travel tale out of this, and maybe see some different eras, great. I don't think they're going to, but a lot of people are speculating it's time travel, and I just don't think it is. So.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I'm kind of from a story perspective, an editor perspective, a director, like, if anyone says to me, wow, this is a TOS Romulan Bird of Prey, I'm like, no, it's not. The design is completely different. Now, that seems like a strange thing to say, but if you look at it, the nacelles are different. We did a comparison. The pylons are different. The windows are different. The size is different. The details are different. The colors are different. Like, it's a different ship. It just happens to be styled after an old ship. Just like, the Void or the Akira, the Akira and XO1, whatever. That obviously was designed to be parallel in a sense. But it's just someone in this era said, let's build a retro design. This worked well 200 years ago. Let's build a new version. Like, it's not time travel. Well, that's I don't buy, because it's not the same. If it was time travel, it would be the same, or it would be closer. Because it's different. It's a different ship. It's just a look. Because the fact is, we don't know what happened to that ship before or after. So they could just have kept building variations on it because it's a classic small ship, and it's a vintage model, but it's different enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do like the idea that when we talked about the ship specifically when we saw it, that it could be because Romulus is destroyed, that there's a lot of older ships that have kind of been pulled out as needed. Again, it goes back to the Children of Mars thing too, with the Discovery ships, the Maggie class or whatever, and Dry Dock. They're pulling out the older ships. For the Romulan, I don't mind that so much because they are a long-lived race, so the ships could technically last longer. But yeah, it's. I'm interested to find the context of it, honestly. So I don't know when that happens. Probably near the end of the season, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there's two ships fighting it, and it feels like quite a small, basic ship. So I think this might be just like we need to go into Romulan. I get the sense it's probably episode 2 or 3 where they're starting there. We have to journey into Romulan space, and they say, there's a ship after us. Drop out of warp, and they're like, it's a Romulan ship. Hull styling is a old style. It's just an average border patrol ship. Nothing special. It's just it's like the Miranda of the era, not literally, whatever. But it's just a classic design that which is why this to me, where the Discovery shuttle used in Picard trailer, if it's identical with a different paint job, then that's a cheap reuse. This is not a cheap reuse because the engines are completely different. Now, when you have a simple design, it looks the same, but if the design is so simple, right? It's okay. So you know how this phone is identical to an iPhone because it's got a screen, it's got buttons, it's got glass. It's like if you show this to a caveman, they'd say they're both identical because they look so similar. But because there's so little to them, you're not saying, oh yeah, but the power thing is 3 inches higher. This line is here. All these things are different because there's so little to look at in design terms that you now say, oh, it's a completely different phone, even though you'd say it's just a smartphone. Who cares? So this ship is a completely different ship in the context of what design is design, even though it's stylistically a similar ship.
Well, Zaraxis sent us a super PayPal. My hopes are high, but my expectations are somewhat low for the Picard series. On the one hand, they've had enough feedback on the failings of Discovery, and they should know what not to do. However, the pacing of the trailer so far makes me think that the show is going to suffer from the same issues that plagued the great franchise like the MCU. Now, I'm just going to pause there for a second and say that I've heard from numerous people that the tone of the trailers does not reflect the tone of the show.
I can imagine.
So,
yeah.
But he goes on to say, plot driven solely by the need to make money and to subvert expectations, essentially written to get views. So I fear we'll end up with an enormous amount of retcons and contrivances to force the plot to move forward rather than writing the plot so that it fits into the universe. And I fear what connections to real world problems will be at best ham-fisted, and the tone will likely not be optimistic in any way, but rather accusatory and dark and unnecessarily gritty, in an attempt to cater to perceived current liberal culture. And since everything has to tie together, they'll find a way to shoehorn in Discovery, even if it makes no sense. On an unrelated note, the YouTube issues may be related to YouTube policy changes regarding well, it's not anything with that. That was done at the beginning of the month. Anyways, that's my 2 cents, and regardless, I do hope that Picard ends up turning out much better than what we got from Discovery so far. Yeah, I mean, the YouTube thing might be COPA, but we just did the super chat agreement thing on there, so it should be fine. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Did the initial super chats ever go through at the start of the stream? No, none of them did.
Well, several people say the PayPal was still taken.
Well, that's a YouTube issue. we didn't get it here. I don't know if we will. Like I said, I emailed YouTube, and we'll see what happens in regards to that. So,
do you have any response to the Draxus that just commented on that? Because that was quite a large, detailed thought.
Well, it went into political shit, which I don't care about. It might mirror our political landscape. Who knows? But as far as the trailers go, yeah, apparently the show's a totally different feeling from that.
Because the fact is, this show, people are going to watch it regardless. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of think more people have Amazon Prime than Netflix in the world. Because Amazon I pay for Amazon to get postage. It's really useful. I've had it for 6 years, even when I was a student. It was one of the few things I paid for that was too much, but I needed it. And so I get Picard. Netflix is purely a bonus, like, I want to watch TV service. But I think more people have the access to the Amazon. I mean, maybe not by like 10 million, but I think more people overall have Amazon than Netflix. And just you happen to get Amazon Video as well. I don't know why you wouldn't have Amazon. You know, it's such a useful service. It pays for itself instantly, you know.
Yeah.
And so therefore, so many people are going to watch this just because it's so much more available than any other thing. And now All Access is more of a thing that people know about. Discovery have proven that they can get subscribed at least temporarily. But people are going to watch this. So it doesn't matter what the trailer really is. In fact, it's in their best interest to hide the style of the show, in a sense, because then, you know, people, especially if, you know, it comes out and everyone's like, oh, it's actually really rather good, and then people go, you know, there's weird double marketing here. They're coming from a low place of Discovery with Trek fans, but they're still going to want to watch for Picard. And the fact is, if you lower expectations, I said to you this before, Last Jedi might have been the best thing for Rise of Skywalker, because it made half of us think, well, it's going to be garbage. Oh, that's actually quite fun. Whereas the Empire Strikes Back is the worst thing for Return of the Jedi, because it sets massive expectations, and Return of the Jedi doesn't remotely reach them. It's not a bad film, but it's definitely not one of the better ones. You know what I mean? And Discovery Season 1, again, lowered them. Season 2 improved them. Some of the shorts were better and some were really low. So it's you know, I can't imagine they were actually thinking that, but they probably said, it's like Temporal Anomaly. There's so many little plot points. If you spoil, you've spoiled it. So I'm sure they're saying, right, we can't reveal these 9 major plot points. They're like, that's every scene. And they're like, yeah, just make a collage of bits and show people, because that's enough to get press, because we don't care about the story as much as the people in a trailer, you know. So I think that actually kind of makes sense that that, you know, that to not lie, but to you know, it's like Galaxy Quest. They promoted it as a comedy, slapstick comedy, and it wasn't, you know.
Yeah. Well, you just have to look as far as the Mandalorian trailer. I mean, we saw the Mandalorian trailers, and we watched the all the episodes, and we were waiting for certain things from the trailers to come out, like for example, the stormtroopers and stuff at the end. You know, we were like,
Yeah.
kind of forgot about those after like the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how much of that applies to these Picard trailers as well, especially that Romulan ship. Is that like in the final battle at the end of the season? Who knows? But a lot of times they'll even show you a lot of stuff in the first couple episodes in a trailer, and then nothing else really. Because a lot of times they're not done that stuff when they do the trailers. So I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see how these Picard trailers, after we've seen all of Picard, stack up to something like The Mandalorian. Because The Mandalorian, I think, were very successful trailers.
Yes. Yeah. And it was still a show that we weren't necessarily expecting from the trailers. But it is weird to come right off that. I think I said to you, I was looking more forward to Mandalorian than Discovery Season 3. It's like, that's more exciting as a concept, you know. The next show of that, because we've proven they can do it. But I mean, you know, we'll see Seven early on. We'll see Hugh early on. We'll see Starfleet Command. I'm hoping we get a really nice. I mean, they're going for a negative tone with Starfleet. The Starfleet got more isolationist and negative, so we're not going to get probably this epic, cool shot of, you know, him walking Starfleet and all the officers in good-looking uniforms, form-fitting, and walking around and being positive, and, you know, maybe a cadet says, "Oh, I've missed you, Captain." Although they did obviously make the re-edit. They took fan feedback where the guy at the desk says, "Who are you?" and then they re-edit it to, "He knows who he is," and it's like, yes, good. Don't be being a little bitch, CBS. You know, he's only been. Come on, no one's gonna forget the guy that killed Shinzon, the guy that saved Best of Both Worlds, the guy that was assimilated. Like, this guy is like Kirk. He's never gonna be forgotten. You idiots. You know what I mean? Unlike Giorgio, who's one of the best captains of pre-Discovery, and no one cares who she is 5 minutes after, because she did nothing and meant nothing.
Yeah.
Well, the best captains like Pike and April and Giorgio. It's like,
We got another PayPal from Christopher Roberto. $2.
Thank you.
Oh, he says, please don't read live. Never mind.
Okay, I will read it in non-live, and you'll read it in non-live, and we'll be happy.
So there we go.
Although Mannix says Discovery is a good show. If people don't like it, then don't watch it. It's not really how that works. You watch things out of interest, hoping it's better. But if you don't hope for a good show, if you don't expect a good show, you know, it's just sad when, you know, shows from years ago are better made, better film, better script. You know, a bad script is a bad script. You can't really, you know, it's like Rise of Skywalker is not really a good script. It's an enjoyable thing. Discovery's not even that enjoyable, but it's subjectively a bad set of scripts. Discovery, and the plot is subjectively bad. You know. Okay, let's read Christopher's then. Myself.
Yeah. Ultimately unimportant. Don't worry. Dan23. The rumor is that Picard is going to get the Borg cube, but the Romulans are protecting it, and they have to fight past the ships to get there.
Yeah.
I would totally buy that.
Yeah.
In which case, that older ship could be like a police ship of some sort.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Well, it's like a Lakota. It's like, this is. I mean, I don't even mind it being late TMP. But I really hope they don't, as I said before, they don't say the entire empire was destroyed because one planet was destroyed. I hope they, again, they've got a lot of stuff to explain and talk about here, because they can't assume people have either read Countdown, read the Picard comic, watched the shorts. Like, nothing there can be taken as the gospel of this is the only way time you're going to explain it. Because I mean, I didn't bother reading the Picard second comic, because the first one was such a non-thing. I didn't even bother. I mean, you helped me with that, Stuart. But I mean, is it worth reading the second part?
No.
Yeah. So I'm probably just not even gonna read it. You know, I got my Odyssey fix. I got my uniform fix, and you know, so everything needs to be in the show. Otherwise, it's a poorly told show. Yes, it could be in season 2, but this is part of the setup. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a, you know. Although I guess it'd be like Burnham at the start of season 2. She's like, she tells a non-story, which they then retcon out in the short, because it's a different story in the short. They don't even know their own canon. But I can imagine it starting with a voiceover of someone saying, you know, 30 years ago, this happened. We've seen the Enterprise E flying through a fleet of Romulan ships, and you know, because that's a great way of like getting some cred. Is like starting with the, you know, starting with Hobus, show us, and then the E, and then this big fleet of Romulan ships, and then you know, yeah, could be a lot of win because that's worth. Sorry, last point, because that could be worth building, you know, the new assets for just for that sequence, because that's post Nemesis. So if you want to do the epic movie scale opening scene, show Hobus, show the evacuation, show this fleet of Federation ships, and now you've just like Discovery episode 1 and 2, you've made 30 ships for one scene. But unlike that, these are really good looking ships, and you can sell them, and they'll be in, you know, you can just throw them in other scenes. I mean, that could be like the best opener possible. But then that kind of goes against the Picard being isolationist vibe. If you start with epic action and then now he's just picking grapes, doesn't quite have the same editorial feel. So I'm sure it's going to start with literally just like beep, 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 beep. Well, number one, let's go out onto the farm. And he starts walking. That'll be the start. Really small, really low key, like the first trailer. That I'm sure is what we'll start with.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Jeff Jacobs puts in 251 PayPal. 150 likes, awesome. Again at 200, hashtag make Jeff pay. 318 of you here. Everybody hit that like button. We should be able to get to 200, no problem. Just if you haven't hit like, hit it. I want to see the thumbs go. Good. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah,
good.
313 is amazing. So yes, I want to see 200 likes. 200 big fat likes.
Yeah. And be sure to join us on Friday for our Picard review, full episode review and discussion, because it'll be great to get your thoughts on it as well as ours, obviously. Yeah. So,
and of course, Stuart, tomorrow I'll plug your show, Stuart, for his first reaction, which will be exciting. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do. We got a lot of stuff to do on Friday. It's going to be a very, very long day, a lot of editing time, but hopefully we'll be able to do a non-spoiler and a spoiler review, because the fact is this is such a hot button like show. This could redefine. This could start the new golden age. You know, Discovery was a letdown in many ways. This could be like the start of the new. I mean, you know, the JJ things were a bit of a letdown too, because they kind of started then fizzled and failed because of them. They did it themselves. You know, so did Discovery. So this could be the start of the next era of Trek. And so doing non-spoiler review might be useful because people might want to wait until it comes out properly or Blu-ray or whatever. So we might do several smaller videos, so you guys can, you know, enjoy our review, short thoughts, and then we have to talk about it all again in the evening.
Everybody that's here, all 319 of you, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well as hitting that like button. Very important. And if you want to help us out, by all means, head over to Patreon. That's one of the best ways to help us. Or as you've been seeing throughout this one, PayPal. And super chatting is important when it's available. But so
so
I don't know if I have anything else.
No, I feel pretty. I think I threw a few cool things out there. I guess in quick fire, I think we're going to see maybe one flashback a day to an episode, which is maybe 3 or 4 minutes screen time per one max, between 1 and 4. Multiple uniforms, multiple times. I hope we're going to see one flashback of Picard in old uniform. But that could be just me wanting. We'll definitely see.
Fleet Boss Swift back $1.99 super chat. This is a test of the USS Foley red alert system. The super chat's working again.
Go super chat! Go 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 go! Okay, everyone that wanted to go.
Mouse accuracy $5. Really happy to see a lot of the original cast. I feel that's important. See, now you guys can have your voice.
And my super chat button, I just saw it. It flashed green. It pulsed green, literally as you were saying that. I didn't do anything passive.
Yeah, every time a super chat comes in, it pulses.
Oh, well, ignore me. He shot me down there, didn't he? Jesus.
If you're on the YouTube studio, it will. So there you go. Super chats are back, which is awesome. So
completely destroyed me there, Stuart.
So now might be a good time if you guys have any theories or anything that you didn't feel like PayPaling or because you didn't know how. If you want to super chat, we will definitely talk about your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas.
Yeah, 300 people. We definitely need some super chats. Put them through.
That'd be awesome.
I do think we're going to see Picard's lady friend from the past, Verity.
CJ O'Neill throws in $100. Trekyards, love your content. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, CJ O'Neill. E. Paris.
Damn, son.
Perhas, $2. Here, take some money. Thank you. Much appreciated. We will take that money. Chris Gwillem.
Well, hold on, CJ O'Neill, we will do the non-spoiler review just for you. Because that is, like, amazing. Thanks, sir. Wow.
That's a huge donation. Chris Gwillem, £1.99. With no comment. Charles, $2. No comment. See? You got Zeraxis, $5. Bazinga, it works. I'm sorry if my comments earlier sounded negative. I'm also hyped for the show. I'm looking forward to it. And I do think I'll like it.
Yeah.
How did Fleetpaw Swiftback, who's one of our moderators, know to send a test for the super chat?
He was testing every 2 minutes. He's that dedicated. He accidentally gave YouTube like $300 and $5, and $299 will get sent back. But yeah.
CAH, £2. Could Vash return the woman from Ryza?
I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it either. Fleetpaw Swiftback, $5.
Hey.
Paying for 175 likes. I'm going to give Picard a few episodes to get going before I make a decision.
Sure.
I'm hopeful but cautious. Yeah, as you should. You should always watch something before you can criticize it.
And this is why both of us don't agree with the way like Anti-Trekker does his reviews. He actually watches them and then stops talking, having complaints. It's like, at least finish the single episode first, because a lot of things have a setup and a payoff. And it does just seem a bit silly, and like you're looking for problems.
Well, he is, because he's negative.
Well, anti-Trekker, yeah. I mean, especially as when how many times do I present graphics to you after we film, after we do watch the thing, and it's like, oh, I didn't notice that, because I've gone in frame by frame and find things. Like that's kind of what I do, because it's there. Until you think about it.
We got a bunch more super chats. Jill 47, $2. Setting my alarm for 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if I fall asleep.
Good luck, Jill.
Chris,
don't email spoilers.
Hope you enjoy.
We love you.
Yeah, don't talk to us about spoilers though.
Yeah.
Until our live review.
Then everyone spoils, but not really.
Yes.
Well, if it's spoiler review, yes.
Chris Gwillem, £10. Picard.
Because Stuart, we are literally in the closing hours. This is the start of the next era. The next generation. Do you see what I did there?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Jarzia, $10 Canadian.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm not super enthusiastic, but not pessimistic either. Gonna have to watch and see how this goes. Either way, I'm anxious to see the show. Fingers crossed it's genuine Trek. Absolutely, that's my thought exactly. I want the characters to feel like the characters.
Yes.
And have the proper motivations.
Be respected.
From what I've seen of Picard, from some of the clips and things, I think that's the case for his character. So we'll have to see.
And you know what? I don't like the fact he's isolationist, but the fact that he in several trailers says, I must do this because it's right. I must go on the fact that he is so determined to do the thing, that's what Picard would do. The thing that got him there might be a bit stupid and against the character, unless the thing itself is like, oh my god. But think about it. Best of both worlds happened. He helped kill thousands of officers. He bounced back within a month. So it's got to be worse than that.
Yeah.
Did
you see the clip that was released today, I think? Where he says, they ask why he left Starfleet, and he says, because...
haven't seen it. Oh, don't know.
Because not... No, I'll shut up then.
Yes, thank you.
Eugene, 1,500 rubles.
Woohoo!
That's fantastic.
Let me...
Abrams or Johnson. Hack is a hack. Lesser, greater, meddling makes no difference. The degree is arbitrary. The definition blurred. If I'm to choose between one hack and another, I'd rather not choose at all. P.S. Sorry for off topic. That's fine.
I made this analogy earlier. And dude, you're so eloquent with your stuff. Seriously, keep commenting. And you can put like a low super chat, just keep commenting because you have always good things to say. But I will say, and I said this to someone today, Abrams, good visual director, should never be allowed to write, be involved in story. Like, seriously, one of the worst story writers possible in Hollywood. But great visual and actor director.
Well, just keep him away from the lens flare machine.
I mean, there's very few in Rise of Skywalker. I didn't really notice any.
There was at least 2 that were kind of noticeable, but...
And there was 2 in the same frame in 09. Like, that was him just jerking off a lens flare, wasn't it? And then basically every film they're like, JJ, don't 09 lens flare. Every film is being burnt, is being like pushed down. And everyone's saying, don't do that. It's dumb. But they don't do it once.
Caleb Horn puts in $5.
Thank you.
No comment, but thank you. Charles says Anti-Tracker has actually been right down the middle of the road on Picard, not wanting for it to or waiting for it to come out first. Yeah, I was talking to him about that earlier in his live chat. And I love him for that. He's not one of those, even though he's part of the fandom menace, he's not instantly, I hate something before it comes out. Yeah. He seems to be very negative towards Discovery, but I can see why.
Well, it's earned it. I mean, there's reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's a little too overcritical sometimes about a lot of little things.
I mean, so are we for our side, specific. That's why it's funny to read some of our comments say, guys, it's just a ship thing, don't nitpick it. It's like, you're on the spaceship channel with two guys that are obsessed with spaceships. I mean, you're gonna get a slightly focused content style on the thing that we're specialists in. It's like if a lawyer watches the show with law, he's not gonna say he's probably gonna notice law problems and point them out because he's a lawyer.
Legal.
Yeah. So it's it's like if I was a 7-time Emmy Award winning cameraman, I could look at it and just say that shot's bad, that shot. You know what I mean? We all have our specialities. Like if you're a costume designer, you could say, "Oh, I see the sewing. I see what they did there." It's specialisms, and we're good at ships. So.
TRM 59C puts in $2. Patrick Stewart invites Whoopi back as Guinan in season 2. Yeah, that was an awesome moment.
Already mentioned
I loved her reaction. Yeah.
Yep. It's so genuine, and it's kind of weird because especially when you're on camera. I'm speechless is the worst thing for camera, but it says the most about the moment because she's trained herself to be on The View to keep talking and she can't say anything, and that's like she's so like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But really it's like when with any of these actors, they're being offered a job, being offered tens of thousands, if not not hundreds, but offering tens of thousands of dollars for a few days work. It's like, excellent, I can buy this conservatory. That's in reality what it is. It's like we want them to come back, but it's like we want them to be offered more money to do something for a little bit. Like it's only good for them. And Hugh came back for Descent, and his part is crap, but he got paid money. He wasn't going to say no. I mean, that's why you can appreciate when Leonard Nimoy and DeForest Kelly said no because their part was garbage. When some actors kind of and DeForest said, "I'm not going to say this line, give it," and then Sue takes it. People can sometimes their characters are so strong they can sort of make decisions, but she just wants another job, great. And if they write Guinan good, brilliant. If they write it bad. As with anything, unfortunately.
Well, I don't think they can really ruin Guinan, hopefully. But Jarzia says Trekyards pitch meetings did a Star Trek 09 recently.
I know.
And the skit had lens flare. I love the pitch meeting.
Very clever.
I love that show, but I haven't seen the 09 one yet. I'll have to check.
I will be honest. It's been over a decade, and they noticed things I hadn't noticed. That's I feel embarrassed about that. I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
A decade later, we can still go through and rip that shit apart. That's impressive.
By the way, look up Everything Wrong with, or JJ's Star Trek Sucks, and here's why. It's like my first viral hit video. Anyway, that was before Trekyards.
Good stuff. Check out Temple Anomaly, my fan film.
Yes.
Both pre and post Trekyards. Because it was a long time.
My stuff is on the Trekyards channel, though. Just look back up to the beginning. He's got his own channel.
Just Google Samuel Cockings.
That's Foley's personal channel.
What happens if I Google Samuel Cockings? What comes up first?
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Most accuracy puts in $5. Are we going to see some Borg? Yes, you've already seen Borg.
I'll bring up a picture. And again, that is so littly highlighted, the graphic nature of the Borg. I mean, we see X-Borg be completely fine, and yet we see this visceral, gross... this is the moment when 7 of 9 is over a person. I really do hope we see legitimate, like, Borg. I know we saw the guy in the trailer with the eye, but it'd be kind of nice if they're, like, Borg that you just can't save, and they're full-on drones. I know that Glenn Hetrick said he really wanted to do a Borg redesign. And as long as he was tasked with, do it properly, I certainly like to see a Borg redesign where, maybe even, tell me what you think. Because, in Game of Thrones, they make zombies look even more effective by having green on their face and they can see through their face. So if you had Borg with green screen, you can have like now his face is now a rectangle in. Like they break parts of the human forms. It's no longer just humanoids. It can be humanoids with, a shoulder that's now lower down by 2 foot. Really like more deformed versions. Would that be a good thing, or keep them all like the same relative looking?
Keep them the same. Don't do that. Ugh.
Hey, it's asking.
Geek Filter says, "Ugh, I forgot. Most Trekyards fans are Star Trek Discovery sucks people. Goodbye." Well, Geek Filter, you're a moron, because we have a pretty balanced both sides of the fence here as far as our audience. So, bye.
Yeah, I mean, if you think in so much of a one way or the other,
black and white.
What do they say? It's only Sith do absolutes, which in itself is an absolute, but that's okay. We take each thing as it comes. We like some things, we don't like others.
But yeah, there's a lot of people here that like our take on Discovery, and it's not all negative.
The fact that several cast members from Discovery have told us in person, we like how balanced you are about Discovery, the show they're on. That tells you everything you need to know. From the horse's mouth, and that could sound very shill-like, but balanced. Fair and balanced is better than being one way or the other, because nothing is only good and only bad. I can absolutely take 10 things I like about Last Jedi,
and that's why we go through all the TNG episode reviews, because we ripped apart Descent Part 1 and 2. It's not good, and it's TNG.
I blew you away with a 1 out of 10. You were not expecting that. I completely shredded that last one.
We said some Discovery episodes are way better than that.
Yeah.
So,
especially in season 2, certainly. Yeah.
It all has its good and bad. So that's what we do. We look at both.
Yes. It's important.
Fleetpot Swiftback puts in $5, $4.99. Glad super chats are working again. Just tried every 10 minutes or so with the test. Either that or I have the magic touch. LOL.
Magic touch.
You are brilliant, so thank you very much.
And you guys' support has already made this a worthwhile live, and the $100 obviously amazing, and the $10, boom, short amount of time, it's another great one. And as you guys know, we had 3 months of pretty low, for different reasons, a couple of different reasons. So these sorts of streams to make a really good month helps to balance out those months and help us think it was worth sort of pushing through, because these months are going to be incredible, and you guys are really already jumping to that occasion. And again, thank you for sponsoring the background. That really helped both this month and last month. That was amazing. Thank you.
And you've seen our energies zapped back up now that super chats are working. So
well, it's good because I get to look at the chat. Like part of that is you're forced to,
Out of step with reality, says Trekyards, you guys are the most fair people I've been on Star Trek. You look at the things both good and bad. I love the bad about you guys. And then Ghost Keep Gaming says that's why I like Trekyards over other guys. These guys are facts, and the others are just clickbait. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clickbait. We've had 3 clickbait videos in 5 years, and each one actually has a specific reason to be. It's like we actually want people to come watch it because we have a thing to talk about. Clickbait. If there's a, what I mean. It's like a documentary. If the title is a good title, you get more people. Like you could call a documentary "The Life of This Person" or da-da-da-da-da-da. Like sometimes just the jazzing up clickbait is just a good title, or a shitty title will get less people. And Trout Bum Wombat says, "What's Samuel's short called?" Well, a 50 minutes isn't necessarily a short, but a Temporal Anomaly is my 2-part episode, and then I've also got other fan films I work on, from Avalon to other things. So yeah, go check out, or just Power 543 fan films, and you can find a ton of stuff that I've done. Or just search Samuel Cockins and you find even more things I've done.
Yeah. And Joe47 says, Trekyards are not negativity whores for clicks. That's why I hang out here. Thank you, Jill. We love you.
And let me just, Zeraxis, dude, impressive models you sent. I did look at that. It was actually in our junk folder, so I didn't see them until the next day. But dude, you can model, and you can make not texture look good. I'm impressed. I had no expectation of what you could and couldn't do, and you've got some good stuff there, and your JJ Prize variant is cool. So you have, if dude, save up, have some episodes commissioned, because people will like them. You will get thousands of views, and many of them people saying this should have been Discovery or la la la. So save up, because good job.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
Charles, $2. Too much to write in super chat. I can't afford. See below.
Oh,
where's Charles? I'll watch Patrick Stewart invite Whoopi to. Okay.
Yeah.
It's clear that she has a real love of the character. Yep.
Well, she has love for the cast and the entire mythos of why she wanted to be in it was Nichelle Nichols and representation, and so it means something so amazing to her, kind of like it does to us. Honestly, she's more like us than the rest of the cast are.
Yeah.
She was born on Star Trek, and she used her influence to be on Star Trek. And if we could do that, you know, I mean, it's like you kind of wondered that the Archer actor might have said, "Do you need someone on Star Trek to get more views? I'll be in Star Trek." No, okay, you know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe with him.
Yeah. Martin R puts in €2. Failed super chats got refunded. Here's a D refund. Well, thank you, Martin. D refund.
Thank you.
Out of Step with Reality puts in $5.
Oh, thank you.
Like your wall so far, Sam. Have you got around to putting the Arizona class battleship up as of yet? Looking forward for it when you do that stream. Do that on stream.
Well, I won't be doing that on stream because that has to be done by Friday. So I'm not going to do a stream for that because I can't go on the internet. So this will be up in some regard. I don't think I have enough ships because you guys did support a lot, but I can't necessarily get them all or have them all. So I have to work out how I'm going to sort of like finish it. I might just do like a line up to a certain point. So I've only got a certain number of ships left. But I'm going to spend...
Your camera's tilted again, eh? The ships aren't straight across. It's bugging me. It's my OCD.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I might. I've got tomorrow. I can't go on the internet tomorrow, so I can't do any lives. I can't do any random shit. So I might just because I imagine how many YouTubers are going to say, "Oh, we'll be first. Fuck Spoilergate." You know what I mean? The first one to put out spoilers will get views. We're not going to do that. And in fact, what we did last year was that we did like a week's worth of videos on the channel, but we kept the most spoiler ones near the end of the week, and then the least spoilers at the start of the week, just to give people a few more days of lead up. Because it's just we get less views, but it's fair to everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Jeff Jacobs, $2, 200 likes, nicely done. We can get to 250 hashtag. Make Jeff pay. 299 of you here. You guys are fantastic. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that thumbs up. Let's make Jeff pay. Let's get to 250. We can do it. We can do it. But yes. Yay. Yeah. Does Canada get Picard at the same time as the US, says Sean Craig Parkson? No. In Canada, it is on CTV Sci-Fi, which used to be the Space Channel, and it is on at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. Well, every Thursday it'll be at 9 p.m., so I get it like end of the day kind of thing. And then I'll do my first reaction video around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So...
And Zraxus talks to me back again. I mean, pretty much got all the money put away. Just got to get together to do the stuff with you guys. Well, that's awesome. And certainly, the more funds you have, the more elaborate the episodes can be. As we know, Stuart, we did a 2-parter once, and that was a big production because the guy had more funds. I mean, that's great. Everyone wins there. And we've got a really exciting project coming up that originals will help fund. So that's great. I mean, you know, super. Yeah. We like having to do Indiegogos because if we can build the funds in other ways, we're happy to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Tom Azeros 48 puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you. Hi guys, Samuel, is the Inquisitor on the wall yet? Did you get my email about it last week? I know you're busy. That is Tommy Perron.
Yes. The Inquisitor. No, but I'll put it back on the list. I think I know I read that. I don't know if I put it on the list, but I'll make sure it's up there either way. Basically, I've got to spend tomorrow doing more ships. That's my exciting tomorrow, and then blue tack, white tacking them. But I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you know, it's good, better. I don't know. I don't know if it's better, but it's certainly more different types of shapes, which I like.
So I think the PayPal thing or the super chat thing might have been site wide, and all of a sudden YouTube started getting all these things coming through, and they just decided to fix it. But
they turned off money, and now they turned back on money. Wow, he's got $50,000 more over 10 channels doing lives. Yeah. Can you imagine that? How many millions a minute they could be earning? That's crazy.
And Donnie Pearson says Gesundheit, and then says, "Was that the pug?" What the pug? There was no sound. I went, whoa. People, I think Donnie has said Gesundheit a few times in different videos. I don't know what he's hearing, but nobody's sneezing or anything, so I don't know. Pug's not even down here right now.
I don't know.
But guys, Picard, do you have any theories? Any theories that you'd like us to talk about or make us aware of? Feel free to super chat.
Let me see some of the pictures in the lineup. Yeah.
No one sneezed that I'm aware of, Donnie. He's not here.
Yeah. I do want to give one little shout out as a very early. I know I've already talked about it before. Because I was thinking in my brain and I was like trying to process what I was going to say, that I wish Picard was in uniform more. You know, because it's such a sign, you know, even just in flashbacks or whatever. And he might just have clarified in his brain, where if I give away the flashbacks, then it gives it away. But I like his uniform a lot. The one with the top, you know, I'm trying to find a clean picture of it. But the costume he wears in this season, which has got very similar fabric on the top to his Nemesis uniform, and then just black bottom. Like, that's as close to a uniform as I need to still be happy as they did something that felt right. So I give him all credit for a great art design on a civilian yet. It's like a guy wearing a green, a green tack. Well, yeah, it's like almost wearing tactical trousers with a jean top, or with a top. It's like it's kind of a bit wearing his uniform as a symbol. So I give him all credit for that as a great art design choice.
Yeah.
And
Terry Farley says, I think Donnie wants to see the pug. No, I think Terry, you want to see the pug. Matthew Fastini puts in $5. Happy Captain Picard Day. Can't wait for tomorrow. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I'm super excited I always get super excited, even when a new Discovery episode's coming out. Discovery's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I really enjoy watching them. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't perfect. But, I still enjoy the experience.
I mean, I have almost a ritual I had for Discovery. It's like, wake up. First thing, get the episode. Second thing, eat. Third thing, I know nothing about it online. It's just me and whoever's in the house. So I'm in this little bubble of me and my own thoughts, which I think is very important. Put it on, watch it, take notes, finish, and have my own thoughts. So I'm not biased. I'm not taken by anyone else. I'm not spoiled. Like, this lovely little bubble. And then suddenly, go on the internet, it's like, oh, everyone's talking about it. What do people think? Now I can learn. I like that little thing. And I think I remember sitting down for the first season of Discovery being like, right, here we go. This is weird. And then be like, oh god, that intro with the Klingon, shit. I think I swore at myself in that first scene. I filmed that. Oh, maybe I should film myself watching Picard, like see my instant reaction. Kind of fun, actually. It's like a low res, my face.
Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99. That's okay. Is the Romulan bird of prey as hardy as the Klingon bird of prey? I would say the Romulan bird of prey is probably more hardy because it's got a lot of armor. Well, at least in Starfleet battles, I'm going with that. There's a lot of armor plating on those, as opposed to the smaller birds of prey, which don't seem very tough, really. I don't know. I would say the Romulan bird of prey is a little bit hardier. So.
Well, yeah, no, I can see. I mean, that ship is not maneuverable. I think no one can claim from the show it's maneuverable, and therefore, yeah, I would give it more armor, more shields, more power. As a caveat to just not having the. Yeah.
Sam, there's this $2 super chat from Jill. You might want to close your ears. I don't think you want to hear this.
Oh, okay.
The first 3 episodes will be on Earth, all set up. Okay, it's done. Come back. It's just
Thanks,
something
Jill.
about the first 3 episodes that I don't think you wanted to know about.
Thanks, man. Don't like knowing things. And this shot I want to bring up as well because it's the Jar Jar shot.
The Jar Jar shot.
If you recall, it's a shot of somebody somewhere on a hill, something with a Jar Jar with a character that has a hood, has ears like Jar Jar, and it's just like, the fuck is this? I mean, it's such a what? It's such a. Do you remember this?
Are you sure they're ears?
Well, no, they're not ears. I'm saying he looks like Jar Jar.
Oh.
That's all my brain sees when I look at him. Well, I think based on his clasp here, it's Hugh. I think he's that's now I look back, having now seen Hugh a few more times. That's my vote.
Because everybody asked, here's the pug. She finally came downstairs.
Oh, the pug. Oh.
Say hi to everybody, Pug.
Hello. Hello.
No, don't give me kisses. No. So there you go. Everybody that was interested in the Pug, there she is. So send a super chat for the Pug.
The true celebrity of this live.
Yes, the boss of the house. She's the smartest one here. As she yawns. Oh, you're so cute. I know. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Now this shot also intrigues me thoroughly. I wonder though, I mean, this is their chance to also delve into like Seven of Nine's history, because, I mean, she was a sex symbol at the time, but she's also loved as a character. Like, she's a truly unique character that she wins both, like, flawlessly, almost, you know, and she links to the storyline. So, can you imagine if this was Annika Hansen, you know, would they bother trying to develop the existing characters in this show? Because I can imagine they just sort of like, look, it's Seven, she's doing something, she's left. Oh. But
Seven was always blonde. I think that's Dahj.
Well, that was my that was more a side thought to Seven, like just the idea of do we see flashbacks. But I can imagine this being that's a hollow window. That this is or it could just be Riker's daughter, to be fair, looking out the window at the house that they're at. But I can see this being this could be, like I said, Dahj is in a prison within a prison, but she thinks of it as a normal existence. That, I think, is going to be the fun sell, that she's been legitimately brought up in an environment that she thinks is normal, and this is just her in a partial hollow house. Because the fact is, if you've got a holodeck technology, which everyone has, having a captive, I mean, you just stick him in a holodeck, done. In a sense, you know? It's really easy. You can still give him a full life, sort of.
You know what's even easier? Freeze them in carbonite.
I mean, you are right. Or freeze them in Botany Bay style and just send them out, you know? Yeah.
Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Super chat for the doggo. She's cute.
Woo!
Jarzia puts in $2. Super chat for the pug. Precious, she's making lots of money. Matthew Faustini puts in $2. Pug super chat spike. Hashtag pug like spike. Which reminds me, everybody hit like for the pug. Just hit thumbs up.
Although Donnie has to leave. Bye, Donnie. Good to see you.
Bye, Donnie.
And D.Rod980 says 300 likes equals bring the pug back. And I think we should keep to that, Stuart. So if we hit 300 likes, the pug will be back.
Yes. If we hit 300 likes, I'll bring the pug back on camera.
The return tour,
Or maybe you can see the Chihuahua. Dot. Anyway, Judge 1981 puts in $5. Theory: Picard is terminal, and his Borg implants are being manipulated. Neither us or him know what he is. I don't know.
I can definitely see a reveal being that all of the data flash things are actually being sent to his brain. They're manipulating him. I see that being very possible, because I mean the Borg, like I said, like you were confused about, and I pointed out that the Queen was talking to Picard. There is some connective tissue there that is in his body in some way, probably, or at least they have his DNA, they can talk to him. So that wouldn't be that bad, because it's not data, therefore it's kind of irrelevant to who it really is in a small sense. You know, at least it's Brent in uniform, yay. It's better than Brent not being in uniform. The only one to go back in uniform is Brent, really. It's like, Brent, wherever uniform, he's like, oh, god damn it. Fine, I'm back. You pay me enough to be back. And I bet you that the final show will have the best digital de-aging of data we've seen yet, because they're waiting. They show us the first clip to Garrick Simon that he looked old with bad cheeks for some reason. Bit better than the new one, but it wasn't released in full HD, so you couldn't tell. I think he'll actually look much better in this one. And people pointed out to me that actually, based on this last little release, that he looks like he's in Nemesis, which was already him pushing old. Like, you could see his wrinkles very clearly. That was him right at the end of when he could do it. And so if you're trying to de-age him to that point, that's a lot less far to go. So if you put them side by side, I'm gonna, like, in prep as well tomorrow for Friday, I'm gonna actively go through many parts of the era of Trek and find clean pictures of the actors to like compare how they look now, then, and that sort of stuff. Because I think that would be useful.
And Jill, I saw your comment earlier, but she says that is Dahj. She has the same doll on her bed as an adult.
Yes. Yeah. Or it could be a worldwide. It could be just a universal toy. Yeah, but it's true. I had forgotten that, but
It's a Tickle Me Elmo of the future.
Bless you.
That was that. Now somebody can say Gesundheit. That was actually Sylvia sneezing. They thought they heard somebody earlier, and there was nobody sneezing. So yes, I think he's got that disease that he had in the Irumodic syndrome. He's slowly losing his mind too. I don't know about that because that was an alternate future. Could be future. He might still have it, but he's aware of it now that he's going to get it. So they could treat it if they would have caught it early enough. They did say that, didn't they?
Yes. Personally, I would hate that with a passion. I want Picard to live outside of this. Live beyond this. I would hate him to die in the show. Irumodic syndrome, he got cured. Like, we're already past all good things at this point. I think that's part of it. So he would already have been not good. But we know Riker isn't where he was. The Enterprise D isn't where it was. Although, do you think we'll see the Galaxy X? Because why not? Just like a fun little reference to itself. Like, wasn't that?
That'd be interesting. I don't think we will though. But I'd be down for it, like a ship and a little statue.
Because that would be a pretty ballsy thing to put in the show. I'll be honest. Like, that's them making a statement of, you know what? I can imagine the producer would be like, "Ray Stewart, look at me. Canon, bitch." That was the entire argument. It's like, putting it in the putting in the original timeline. But I'll be fine with that. Obviously, you got to refit the Galaxy a bit, and it's also on Enterprise D. But that'd be clever, or even put in Enterprise E, and that'd actually be even cleverer. The E with the phaser lance, which we haven't seen before. Yeah. Because the E got refitted into the E phaser lance.
There's a new ship for everybody to drool over. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, it's simple. There's no leap there at all. And it kind of makes sense. Powerful weapon, it can take on the Borg. Yeah, it makes actual sense. It would be weird.
Yeah. And did you hear that Brent Spiner left? Was going to be off Twitter for a while because apparently he's getting inundated with messages, and he's like, "I hope you enjoy the show. Some people will, some people won't. I'll be back later." But he's taking a few days or a week or so off Twitter because he doesn't want to get bombarded.
Kind of makes sense because he's in it and people are going to comment on his age, on his whatever. But you don't need to be on Twitter, guys. Like, I'm sure he's still going to look at Twitter because he likes to look at Twitter, but he's not going to tweet. But it's like,
Jill's saying that she saw him arguing with fans and then he left Twitter after that.
Well, his account's not closed. I just had a look when they said that.
Well, no, it wouldn't be closed. He didn't say he was closing his account. He's just taking time off Twitter. But yeah, I don't know why people do that. Leave the people alone, man.
Why even be negative? Like, Brent's done nothing negative to deserve anything. The fact that he came back is a miracle, honestly. And to see him in 2 uniforms is a miracle as well. We could, that's as far as we could have hoped, considering he's said many times, "I'm not going to do it." And I said to you many times, "Pay him enough, he'll do it."
Yeah.
How many times did I say it to you?
Lots. Yeah.
It's that thing where his agent comes to him and says, "Brent, yes, they want to offer you Star Trek." He's like, "Yeah, I won't do it." They're offering you, I'll just say some random numbers. They're offering you 50,000 an episode. He's like, no. Say I want 500,000. Wait a week, Brent. Yeah, they want you on Star Trek. I said no. They're going to give you 500,000 an episode. Oh. Shit. I bet it was that sort of conversation. It's like, well, just, you cannot refuse the money. We pay you. Major enough you could not. That's what it is. Major enough you could not refuse. But the fact is, come on, Samuel L. Jackson and Captain Marvel was flawless. Like, that was flawless.
Yeah, it was.
And if they can do that, obviously it's a little bit different level. But if they really... I mean, the fact they had premieres in Berlin, America, and England, what TV shows have Leicester Square premieres? The answer is none. None. So this is a massive deal, and everything can sink or swim. So if they genuinely want to put the money that was needed to de-age Brent successfully and properly, or even do, as I said to you before, having a de-aged Picard in a flashback, you know, the payoff to that would be absolutely massive. It just costs money and time, but they have theoretically money and theoretically time. So,
yeah. Well, I think they should use it in that case. I mean, yeah, you say Samuel L. Jackson was flawless, but that was like a movie budget.
It was. But he was also in like an hour of that film. Brent's going to be in 5 minutes an episode, and being still. You know what I mean? I mean, it's difficult the more you do with it. If he's just sitting at the camera, I mean, it's less hard to do. And he's not de-aging him 30 years, just like 10 years. So yeah, it's millions, but I mean, you know, cut one CGI battle and you've just made the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. This is the Dot, everybody. This is a Chihuahua. She doesn't get as much screen time as Precious.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Because she's not Precious.
That's right. She's the oldest one, though. She's going to be 9 this year, in March. So, you want to go down now? Okay.
And Thribis disagrees with me. Says, not really. We knew what Samuel L. Jackson looked like in '95. I mean, this is true. Like, he can't. Like, I know they took out some of his chin and stuff, but I mean, yes, he doesn't look the same. But he is digitally de-aged to look younger, flawlessly in a movie. Yeah. Like, if you went to that movie without having gone back and watched a '95 movie of his, you'd be like, that's incredibly impressive. So yes, obviously it's not flawless, but I mean, considering the level, that is the best de-aging I've seen. I mean, I've seen some of Robert De Niro in The Irishman, but it looks like I mean, it was done in a worse way because they had to do it without markers, so it was done less effectively. It was cleverer, but less effective. But it looks stuck onto his face, even though his face is, but it looks more fake. And he's moving like an older person, where Samuel Jackson's very spry still. De Niro is like, you know, playing 20 and being 80 is not exactly clever, but being a young 60-year-old playing a 30 is a little bit easier.
Yeah. Caleb Horn puts in $5.
Thank you.
My theory or hope is that at some point someone shoots. There's another ship coming in, sir. It's the Enterprise. And it's the Odyssey F, or the Sovereigns fly in. That'd be cool.
I basically will say that I think Enterprise will be in season 2. That's a payoff they're saving, very much like Discovery, because that worked a treat for them, didn't it? You know, we're not going to use Spock. Well,
that's maybe that's how it ends. The last episode, they're like,
that's the joke.
You're going on this ship or whatever, and all of a sudden you see the ship, and it's like Sovereign class, and it's like then the credits start, and it's like that's how the season ends. Could you imagine the buzz that would get?
And it's a perfect E, like perfect, just beautiful.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But I think we'll see the E in season 2. Well, the Enterprise. It won't be the E, but I bet we'll see a flashback of Hobus. We'll see the E. It'll be a refit, as in new nacelle slight, and there'll be a cell toys. Again, it's worth it. And we'll see the Enterprise F maybe at some point. It won't be Odyssey, but it might be a variation of Odyssey. Now they've put it into comic canon. Like, take bits of it, kind of like a symbolic. We like the E. We like the F. Maybe like an EF combo, you know?
An F in combo?
Yeah.
Fleet Pass with my puts in $1.99. More money for more doggo. Hey, cutie.
Yes.
And Jarzia throws in $2. Fine, you win. Take my money for the doggo.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that there's some kind of epic. I say this now, but I'm going to hate it at the time. Some kind of epic cliffhanger or something that really hypes you up for the next season. Like we just said, see the Sovereign come in, and then that's the last shot. It's like that's the ship they're going to be using for at least the first part of the next season.
Yep.
That would be epic. At the same time, I'm going to hate it because it'd be like, I got to wait for the next season now.
Yeah. But it's very much Discovery, and also the end of Force Awakens is like, the new Enterprise is in one shot. But if it's universally liked, or at least so much so. And Surf Trektonics has a unique comment. I have an odd process of donating to the channels I like once a year based on if they read my comments. So far, it's dropped from 4 to 2 channels. Okay. Cool. We appreciate your honesty.
We try to hit a lot of the regular chat comments as well, but wait, what did I do? Says Mark Lawrence. I don't know. What did you do? What?
Justin asked me to make an FE mashup. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of neat.
Yeah. Bye, Zraxus.
Trekyards Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark Lawrence does deserve to be in the Trekyards Hall of Fame. He's kind of the man behind the scenes. He's our quartermaster. He gets us what we need. Takes care of us. Takes care of us.
And we like him, and he makes us go.
He does make us go very fast in a Tesla.
It's nice. I like it. It's a good car. But I think we're rounding down now, Stuart.
Yes, we probably should.
So any final super chat, any final, basically quick fire round. If you guys want to have any final thoughts, like super chat them out, we'll read every super chat as we always do. But just to reiterate our timetabling, Stuart will do a first reaction live tomorrow. It'll be scheduled hopefully about an hour and a half, 2 hours in advance. So not too long, but it will be tomorrow night, later than now. What time is it now for you? It's
right now it is 7:10.
7:10. So it'd be maybe 3 to 5 hours from now tomorrow. So it'd be later than now, and now's already quite late. So just in your mind.
It'll be like 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, there you go, whichever. So it'll be later, and then Friday expect us to be busy all day and see us at our normal time of 10 p.m. That'll be great. That'll be scheduled well in advance. Expect, well, we hope a spoiler-free earlier in the day, a spoiler-filled later in the day, and then behind the scenes we'll film Saturday and Sunday videos as we kill ourselves and I kill myself slowly. Fun times.
Yeah. Surf Trektronics says Trekyards. LOL, you guys still on my list. I know you have a busy chat. Well, thank you. Ian Smith, $4.99. Do you think we'll see toys from this episode from TNG, like the old Playmates and Micro Machines? I somehow doubt it. Doesn't seem to be the approach they've been taking lately. Like, there's no Discovery stuff, not even a phaser anymore. There was supposed to be a phaser. And that was from McFarlane Toys. So I think there's a Michael Burnham figure from McFarlane Toys that came out with the Kirk and Picard, or it was supposed to come out in the next wave, but I think Kirk and Picard kind of killed the line for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the only thing we can say is that the Midnight's Edge stuff about the merch, about licensees choosing not to take the new stuff because they think the stuff won't be bought. The fact is, if merch isn't bought, then that sends a signal. You know, it's a simple thing. That's all we can go on is their rumors on that stuff. So if you don't see if you don't see Picard merch, which you would think would be on the shelves, I mean we'll obviously Eagle Moss because they've got you know, if they'll buy JJ, they'll buy Picard. And if they buy Discovery, they'll buy Picard. I mean, they've got a base that'll buy whatever they sell, you know. But I mean, yeah.
Speaking of toys, Star Trek toys, that's the idea I was going to run by you, Samuel. I'm going to announce it here. I want to do a series on my own talking about the history of Star Trek toys. One episode all about Playmates toys and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. They'll be fully scripted, fully done episodes. Just miss myself and take some load off of Samuel, get an extra show out there that you guys might enjoy. And plus, I'm really passionate about the toys.
Yeah, you know more than me.
As you know. So that's something that I'm considering doing. So,
miniseries.
Let me know.
And support us on Patreon to see that.
Yes, Patreon's very
So we recently had a little bit of a boost on Patreon, but we really do want 1,000. And hopefully you guys can support us as Picard goes on. Hopefully.
And Jarzia puts in $2. They should just use the Picard song for the theme.
I hadn't even... actually, what is the Picard theme going to be? What is the tile sequence music going to be? I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, we've got a new tile sequence coming very soon.
That'd be cool if it was the flute theme with a little bit of the Star Trek, you know, overlaid in there, kind of mixed in. I think that'd be great.
Okay.
Ian Smith puts in $1.99. Can I sponsor a toy episode, Captain? Well, once I get things set up and ready and I make the official announcement, then absolutely you can.
That would certainly be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guys, I think that was a surprisingly successful from a very quick But we committed to talking non-super chatty, and the YouTube gods rewarded us by people coming to the rescue and second half. So that's good. That's good karma us, I think, Stuart. Trying 3 times and just doing good content without any real monetary support. But then you guys do it anyway. So thanks, guys, and hopefully you guys can see my slow sobering up as I went through, because now I feel sober now. I started a bit tipsy, and now I'm sober.
Yeah, I can tell. Oh, Braxis puts in £2 and says, if Inner Light isn't theme, then Riot. Well, some people say they don't want to hear it. So
I would rather not. I mean, it should be in there, but it doesn't define him. It was one incident.
There should be hints of it maybe throughout the series.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Best of Both Worlds was just as influential as Inner Light to change his life.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect to have the Inner Light / Best of Both Worlds / All Good Things / Nemesis as his themes combined. I mean, no.
Drumhead /
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's not really how themes are worked. Like, it's great, but doesn't define him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't mention it ever again, pretty much. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not, in there, sure. Like, see the flute, that's enough. Like, he has a flute in his house. Maybe he plays a different song on the same flute, because it'd be weird if he plays the same damn song again. Like, haven't played a different song.
Yeah, it's the only one he knows.
Well, he's had 20 years, 30, 40 years, Stuart. Okay, well, Stuart, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be off the internet for a bit. Someone mentions Blue Skies. Yeah, having Blue Skies in one of the teasers, that's a clever way of doing a song. And the way it was a different version, and that was clever. So see Stuart tomorrow. See us on Friday for the start of the next generation. So until then, in the last of the pre-Picard world lives, I am Commander Coggins.
And I'm Captain Foley.
We'll see you very, very soon. May the Picard be with you.
There's a new dawn approaching for Star Trek. Bye, guys.